What's going on, boys and girls? My name is Michael SK and welcome back to the Labyrinth of Grisaia. So in the last episode, Yuuji went to America in order to go to school, in order to get his qualifications to become an agent or whatever. And I guess the school is somewhat related to the school, quote-unquote school, that he went to when he was much younger, back when he was around Oslo. I don't know. I guess it's not as evil or not evil at all, but whatever. Anyways, so in the last episode, I also was very confused as to what language people were speaking. And someone actually came through with an answer, and I hope I put the comment on screen so you can see that yes, someone actually came through with an answer. So this comment reads, when it comes to languages, this visual novel was made for a Japanese audience. This later just got translated into English for the whole world to read. So just think of it like while Yuuji's in America or something, they're all speaking English, they're just speaking Japanese out loud in the game for the Japanese viewers. So I guess Yuuji knows English. I guess that's the outcome of this. Now we know that Yuuji speaks English. So hopefully that's the correct answer and I'm not as confused anymore. So, let's jump back into this. I forget exactly where we left off. We met we met Cranky Bitch. So I don't know what's to happen now. Basically, Yuuji's going through school, and we'll get to experience that with him. So, after that first day, Captain Garrett, as that's her name, took every possible chance to make my life miserable. When I quietly ate the garbage they served us, bad enough to make Asako cooking seem delicious, she told me, the way you eat pisses me off, and slapped me. When I'd taken too long in the bathroom or the shower, she'd slap me. When I didn't get angry, cry, or complain about the slapping, this apparently constituted attitude. So she slapped me in the face again. All that slapping might have started to hurt her hand a little. At one point, she actually smacked me in the face with the bottom of a leather shoe. I have to admit that one got to me a little, but getting knocked around had been a pretty standard part of my life ever since I was a kid. I knew getting pissy about it was just going to wear me down. As long as I thought of it as par for the course, it never made me that angry. But the people around me seemed to think I was being punished for nothing. And one night, a few hours after I'd received yet another one of Captain Garrett's messages to my cheek, I was polishing my boots in our living quarters when things took a turn for the worse.
おい、ショーティー、ひでえ顔だな。また兄に引ったかれたのか。今度は何をやった？
She didn't like the way I was mopping the barracks, I guess. Not like she really needs a reason, right?
たまらんよな、あの女。何かといえば俺らをクズだのクソだのとこき下ろしやがって。
This is a very big person, by the way.
偉そうに言ってるが、タイだってクソ女じゃねえか。知ってるか、あの女。毎朝格好つけるだけのために、読めもしないフランス語の新聞を読んでるふりをしてるらしいぜ。
Well, people who brag about reading stuff usually don't tend to be that smart.
だろ？あんなおっかねえ女、絶対誰も嫁にもらわねえだろうな。
Oh shit, boy! Run! I don't know, Danny. I think Captain Garrett's pretty cute. You got the wrong idea. Try not to be too hard on her, okay? Seriously.
うわ、マジかよ。あんだけボコられて可愛いとか信じらんねえ。お前上にドがつくマゾか。それともボコられすぎてハッピーヘッドになったのか。
Well, you're about to get one.
だいたいあんなゴリラみたいな女のどこ見て可愛いとか抜かしてんだよ。
Oh my god.
バカ。おめえの実家はペンキ屋か。そうじゃねえならメガネ屋に行け。
You fucking fool. You are dead.
Oi,
God damn it. Hello, Captain Garrett, here to inspect our quarters. With a forceful nod, Captain Garrett strode between the rows of bunk beds which lined the walls of our room, and proceeded to inspect whether it was clean and how neatly our belongings were put away. Generally speaking, she didn't find much to complain about on these visits unless she was in a spectacularly foul mood. Unfortunately, her timing tonight was pretty much the worst.
Daniel.
That is fucking scary. Breaking out her best soprano, Captain Garrett called my partner's name.
Yes, Mom.
Danny waited at attention for her instructions, cold sweat pouring down his body. His backbone trembled so badly as he replied that I was slightly concerned he might piss himself.
おいダニー、お前ちょっとつらかせよ。ろくに女も知らねえドリルチンポ小僧に。
Oh shit.
私って女を嫌ってほど教えてやるわ。お前、
wait.
骨は丈夫な方か？
What was bleeped out? I don't see any I don't see anything that warrants censorship.
Yes, Mom.
よし、じゃあその丈夫な骨であるが見えるまでケツをぶん殴ってやる。来い。
嘘だろ。待ってくれトイ。聞いてくれ。
Well, rest in peace.
なんだ？言ってみろ。
シャレであります。
You fool.
喧嘩売ってんのか。いいから来い。
Well,
うわー、ショーティー、助けろ。バーディーだろ。
forgive me, Danny. As I said a silent prayer for my unfortunate comrade, Captain Garrett glanced over at me and pulled her bright red lips into a wicked smile.
何を言っている？もちろん
What?
風見も一緒だ。
Oh
そういう
no.
ことなんだろ？
No, 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 no. Figured as much.
返事はどうして？
Yes, ma'am.
両腕を前に出し、足を肩幅に開け。気合を入れてやる。
Shit. I think I'll omit describing exactly what the two of us subsequently went through, out of sensitivity to current internal military circumstances. It's not like she visited any generally unspeakable violence on us. If I had to provide a simple explanation, I guess I'd say that Danny and I ended up lying face down in bed that particular night. Nothing that out of the ordinary. Wow. When the instructors finished inspecting our rooms, there was a period before lights out that was informally tolerated as leisure time. Some went to sleep right away, some patched up their clothing, some headed for the smoking areas with cigarettes in hand. Others sat around thumbing through car catalogs, talking about their simple dreams with their buddies. Among all this, you'd often see one or two guys writing letters to their families. We were technically permitted to make personal telephone calls, but the only phone available was conveniently located in the officer's room. Of course, that meant the squad leaders would overhear every word of your conversation, and they tended to subject you to aggressive questioning afterwards. Writing letters was the better alternative, comparatively speaking. The contents were inspected, of course, but for the most part, they didn't bother censoring them. Supposedly, a few people even got out messages to their girlfriends by pretending to write about their pet dogs. Lying in bed with my aching ass turned toward the ceiling, I watched a few guys scribbling away out of the corner of my eye and decided to follow their example. The next day, after finishing the rabbit food lunch we were served on Tuesdays, I took advantage of the brief break to head over to the Post Exchange, our on-site retail store, with my rubber stamp in hand. Retail store might sound impressive, but it was basically just a place where you could buy civilian goods supplied to the military for slightly lower than market prices. The selection was pretty random, and the staff didn't give a damn. In fact, the staff was actually just older students who took shifts behind the counter. Naturally, they weren't the friendliest salesmen in the world. From what I'd heard, a job in the Post Exchange did come with some perks, but since I was only scheduled to be enrolled here for half a year, I probably wasn't going to have a chance to take advantage of that. The store opened at 11 a.m. and closed at 7 p.m., earning it the nickname 7-Eleven from the students. But it was really just a warehouse with a counter in the front, right behind a metal shutter, barely even worthy of being called a shop. I need a postal envelope.
いくつだ？一つでいいのか？
2, actually. and writing paper as well.
なぜ一緒に言わん。針金を持ってこいと言われてニッパーも一緒に持ってこないやつは軍では出世せんぞ。切ってもいるんだろう。いくつだ。
It was pretty much always like this. In the military, the most important thing is learning the ropes. First and foremost, as long as you do what you're told, no one's going to get too mad at you. The tricky part is figuring out how well you can manage for yourself within that restriction. Expanding on that bring some wire example, guys who bring a wire cutter along too get a reputation as competent, but guys who carry the whole toolbox over are stupid jackasses. The exact balance there is surprisingly hard to get down. It's the job of those with more experience to provide lessons about this whole sort of thing. After enough bro beating, you eventually learn a degree of common sense that will serve you well anywhere you're deployed. In any case, after accepting my stationery, I took the notebook the clerk handed me, jotted down my name on the first empty line, then pressed my rubber stamp down next to it. As privates, we didn't receive paychecks. Our wages were temporarily deposited into Uncle Sam's wallet. It's pretty similar to the way any elementary school's New Year's money ends up getting into the mommy bank. When we needed to buy something from the post exchange, we could use our rubber stamp to access some of that money Uncle Sam was holding onto for us. It was different from the system used in Oslo's school, where students were issued tickets that could be used as currency, but in the sense that it restricted what recruits were able to buy, it was pretty much the same thing. A cashless system might sound kind of futuristic, but in practice, it just meant that trade between the students tended to take the form of bartering. For that purpose, cigarettes happened to be particularly useful. There was a set limit on the number of smokes provisioned to new recruits in this school. Everyone got 2 small packages containing 2 cigarettes each at breakfast, and then another 2 at lunchtime. In other words, 8 a day, no more, no less. The world was getting more health conscious and all, so a decent number of people were trying to quit, but the guys who just couldn't kick the habit desperately wanted to get their hands on the non-smokers' supply. As a result, they were constantly being bartered for socks, underwear, toothbrushes, towels, and other daily necessities. I didn't smoke myself, so I took full advantage of the situation, using my stock of cigarettes to obtain lots of minor conveniences. Makes sense. If you ask someone what a soldier's job consists of, and they start off with fighting for their country, it's best to stop listening. They're just repeating what the people upstairs pay them to say. When you want a truthful answer, you've got to start off by asking the people in mud-covered work clothes. People who know the job well tend to respond in similar ways. A soldier's job consists of digging holes, filling them back up again, rowing boats in circles, and getting smacked around, followed by shitting and sleeping. But among all the many wonderful aspects of the military experience, the one almost everyone's going to mention is running. When you're a soldier, sometimes it feels like you never stop running. They kick you out of bed at the crack of dawn and make you run. They strap a gas mask on your face and make you run. They put a 40-kilo sandbag on your back and make you run. They tell you it's time for a fun boat class, then make you run to the water while carrying the boats in question. I've been running just to kill time ever since I was a kid. In itself, it was just something I kind of enjoyed. Ugh. Sorry guys, I'm fucking up on my reading today. In particular, it really helped that it didn't require having any friends or money. That said, I didn't particularly enjoy running because someone ordered me to. If anything, I was starting to hate it. I was beginning to realize that going for a run was very different from being sent on one. On top of that, running doesn't have much novelty value when you're basically never permitted to walk. My mother wasn't around to say, "You really are a fast runner, Yuuji," and Asako wasn't there to say, "Damn kid, you're pretty quick on your feet." When I thought about it from that angle, it occurred to me that my motivation for running had a lot to do with earning compliments from women. Couldn't help smiling at my own simplicity.
おい、ショーティー、待て。待てよ、おめえ。相方だろ。
Man, I don't even know this fool. Danny sure looked like an athlete at a glance, but running was a major weak point for him. Those stupidly swollen muscles looked impressive, but they increased his overall body weight, intensified the strain on his joints, and consumed way too much oxygen. Useful as they might be for quick bursts of power, they weren't much help when it came to the stamina-based aerobic exercise. And just as importantly, seriously, Danny, quit smoking. Ugh. It's the reason you get tired so easily. Don't you want to be the Navy's #1 Iron Man?
分かっちゃいるんだが、お前も一度タバコ吸ってるやつの隣で禁煙キャンディー舐めてみろよ。バカくせえ。
Asuko had given me a nice lecture on how crucial cigarettes and coffee were to the soldier's lifestyle. But the way I saw it, smoking came with 100 drawbacks and no advantages, and my personal list of military essentials was topped instead by socks. Wait, what? In fact, a pair I'd obtained through bartering away my cigarettes were paying huge dividends at this very moment. When soldiers run in uniform, they're always wearing combat boots on their feet, and those things absolutely aren't designed for this job. The jungle boots we were issued here hadn't changed much since the Vietnam era. They zipped up from the side now, but that was about it in terms of improvements. I'd spent a lot of time running around the mountain where I'd lived with Asuko in jungle boots just like these ones. It's not too bad when there's earth beneath your feet, but running on asphalt in these things was pure torture. The soles don't absorb any shock whatsoever, so every stride makes your joints scream. By the time you've run 3 kilometers, your toes are blistered. Friction peels the skin off the area above your ankle and below your I don't even know what the fuck tendon. Accordingly, the very first things I bought at the post exchange after arriving here were gel insoles designed for athletes, and thick socks made for mountain climbers. This was the reason I deliberately requested boots larger than my actual foot size on the first day. Apart from slipping in the insoles for cushioning, I wore 2 layers of socks, with a standard issue pair underneath the thick civilian ones. The trick was to completely cover my feet in baby powder before putting the socks on. Then I just made sure to tie my boots tightly, practically gluing them to my legs. The difference between people who can run and people who just can't has nothing to do with determination or guts. It's all about their feet. If you hurt your feet so badly that you can't walk, you're as good as dead. When running's part of your job description, you better have the tools you need to do it properly, even if it means trading your cigarettes. Once again, Asuko's advice about relying on good equipment had paid off for me. I'm sorry that I'm fucking up today, guys. I'm kind of just out of it. I don't even know why I'm recording at this time if I'm out of it, but yeah, sorry for this this fuck up, or continuous fuck up. One way or the other, I'd managed to get about halfway through my period of instruction. At this point, our school began to pit its low-life punks and worthless nerds against each other in a series of sports day-style events. The term might make you imagine something leisurely and recreational, but naturally, that wasn't the case here. It was basically a competitive tournament where all the squads were expected to demonstrate the results of their training so far. As for the events, they started off with the fundamentals, running, followed by swimming. Later on, there'd be rowing and marksmanship as well. I did have some confidence in my running, but our results were determined by the average time of the squad as a whole. Even if I'd taken first place, we'd still have been near the bottom of the rankings. Back when the squad assignments were being made, the instructors had apparently struggled bitterly to get their hands on the more physically fit students with an eye toward succeeding in these contests. Squad leaders who produced good results could apparently earn a reputation for leadership qualities, improving the amount of attention they received from the people upstairs. But of course, Squad 7 was pretty much a dumping ground for the worst of the worst. It would have been stupid to expect anything from us in the first place. Unsurprisingly, we took home the honor of overall last place in the first event. That said, running wasn't even our worst event. We had some faster people and some slower ones, but at least there wasn't anyone who couldn't run at all. Swimming was a different story. Our group of delinquents came from all across the USA. Some were the sons of fishermen raised on the coast, but others hadn't even seen the ocean before coming here. And sadly enough, my trusted partner Daniel Bone, the self-proclaimed Mr. Marine Corps, was so laden down by his own muscular body that even floating proved something of a challenge for him. It was genuinely painful to behold. In terms of sheer absurdity, a Marine who can't swim has to be up there with a teetotaler running a liquor store. Accordingly, everyone who couldn't swim was worked brutally until they could. Those who just weren't learning landed both themselves and their buddy in special remedial training. And so I found myself spending a rare off day at the base's 25-meter indoor pool, trying to help Danny master the doggy paddle. Jesus Christ. I hate it when they shake the screen now. It's a pain for my eyes. Danny, can you hear me? Daniel Bone, get it together. You call yourself a Marine. Don't sink, swim, damn it. God damn it. Iron Man. Idiot. What if a big-breasted girl starts drowning in the sea? You planning to say, sorry, I can't swim and let her die? How dare you let the USA's precious pussy assets go to waste? Are you trying to disgrace the entire Marine Corps? Monko. That's the way, Danny. Keep it up. The pussy is just a little further ahead. You can do it. Go shove American power into it? What the fuck? Well, that lasted a little bit. I guess willpower alone won't get you anywhere, huh? Just as the sun sunk into the sea at twilight, Danny slid slowly down into the pool. The bubbles that rose to the pool's surface in his wake produced a gentle burbling. Struck by a vaguely nostalgic sense of melancholy, I gently lowered my megaphone to the tiled floor. God damn. As a follow-up to our running performance, we managed to capture last place overall in swimming as well. Captain, I don't even know, Garrett, was less than pleased by this state of affairs. I don't know if it's Agnes or Agnes. Like, I know that's a real name. I know that's like not a common name, but I'm pretty sure I have seen that name around. I have no idea how to pronounce it. In her hand, she carried an object of unclear origin, which closely resembled an iron pipe. The words punishment bar were written across its length. She emphasized her points by periodically slamming this against the walls and floor. It was legitimately terrifying. Were this gorilla woman to take a good swing at our rear ends with this thing, I was fairly sure our ass cheeks would have landed right in the middle of the fairway. That night, as it happens, everyone in Squad 7 was obliged to sleep face down with a bag of ice on their ass. This proved to be something of a turning point. When we began our training for the cutter boat competition the next day, everyone was noticeably more motivated than before. Rowing a single cutter boat involved 14 people, 6 rowers each on the left and the right, a coxswain controlling the rudder, and a fife player to set the tempo. I don't know any of this. Captain Garrett perched I don't even know either, at the rear of our boat, blowing fiercely at her fife. And we pushed our 3-meter oars into the water with all our might, repeating the process of catch and row. In this exercise, your abdominal strength, god damn it, and lung capacity were crucial. Pushing your oar into the water required real power, and bending backward to stroke made your abs scream. Of course, our butts were still sore from Miss Annie's loving pep talk. When they scraped against the wooden seats, it was so painful that beads of cold sweat formed on our faces. Every stroke of the oar felt like dragging ourselves over a bed of nails. I could actually feel the skin just under my tailbone scraping itself raw. That's terrible. When we got in the bath after this, we'd all be peeling a layer of chapped black skin off our behinds. They say you're not a real Marine until the skin on your ass gets tough. But at this rate, our bones were going to poke their way out first. Some of the older students had suggested a somewhat extreme method of training that involved smacking our bottoms with beer bottles wrapped up in vinyl tape. But I think they were basically saying that there wasn't that much you could do except tough it out. Before long, the day of the rowing competition arrived. At the sound of the supervising instructor's whistle, all the squads took off running toward the davits, where their cutter boats waited. After untying the moor rope, we lowered our boat to the water's surface and jumped in. Then made for the I can never pronounce this right. I actually, I'm not even gonna try. Floating 2 kilometers off the coast, catching and rowing in perfect unison as if our lives depended on it. Sorry guys, this has got to be my worst session. Once we looped around we needed to speed back to the davit and hoist our boat back up, at which point our final time would be recorded, a contest of pure physical strength from start to finish. Squad 7 was a little short on intellectuals, but we had more than enough raw power to go around. In combination with our new-found motivation, it managed to earn us a very respectable 3rd place.
Yosh! 貴様ら今日はよくやった。これは私のおごりだ。
Damn, dude. Finally, we get rewarded. Even as runners-up, we'd managed to bring back a small trophy. For once, our monster of a squad leader was actually in a good mood. When she stormed loudly into our quarters that evening, Captain Garrett was carrying cardboard boxes full of canned beer on her shoulders. When she criticized us, she was insanely harsh. But when we did well, she didn't hesitate to acknowledge our success. That's the Navy for you, I guess. Probably the way it should be. That night, our group of delinquents enjoyed the intoxicating taste of victory for the first time, and driven by the memory of that beer, my easily bribed squad mates suddenly began to make remarkable progress in training. The 4th and final part of the inter-squad competition was a marksmanship contest. Being a Marine means being a rifleman. And as if to reinforce that message, your skill with a gun was given almost disproportionate weight in evaluations. During normal training, I'd been using a .22 caliber bolt-action rifle, but for the tournament, we were handed an M40A2 that fired a 7.62mm rounds. The contest was held at a range of 300 meters. Everyone fired 5 shots prone, 5 more crouching on one knee, and another 5 standing. After every round, an instructor downrange would inform you of your results by radio. Of course, people who don't have much experience with rifles aren't going to be particularly accurate. Landing 2 shots out of 5 was considered excellent, and 3 out of 5 fantastic. How about that? Since everyone around me was struggling to even land their shots on the target paper, my familiarity with 7.62mm rifles left me at a pretty large advantage. When I put the rifle I'd been given to my shoulder, it felt as if I'd been slipped perfectly into place, or if it had been slipped perfectly into place. I knew this feeling. I was holding a partner who'd never betray me, an ally I could always rely on. The comforting familiarity of it nearly brought a tear to my eye. There was no reason to get tense about being tested. I just had to treat this rifle with my usual respect and care, and I knew it would repay me in kind. Out of 15 total shots in 3 different positions, I landed all 15 on target, earning myself sole possession of top place for that day. Once the contest concluded, I walked over to the observation bunker, provided my name and rank to the instructor, and stated my results. Private Kazami Yuuji, 15 shots on target, sir.
Nani? もう一度言ってみろ。
Private Kazami Yuuji, 15 shots on target, sir.
さあまあ、競技の報告をすれば通ると思ったら大間違いだぞ。おい、こいつの標的紙を持ってこい。
I mean,
確認してやる。
you can't blame him for not believing him. I guess it wasn't surprising that he'd doubt me. Asians do tend to look young in general, and at the time I was puny enough that you might reasonably wonder if I'd even grown all my hair yet. Deciding there was no point in talking back, I decided to wait patiently for the arrival of my target paper. But just then, Captain Agnes bitch-ass Garrett appeared at my side, languidly leaning down with one elbow against the bunker.
ああ、そいつはいいんだよ。スペシャルなんだ。
スペシャルでありますか。
そいつの資料の兵籍番号を見てみな。4桁だ。
兵籍番号 I9029 市ヶ谷徴兵特殊任務工作員90295赤坂
Ah, shit, my bad.
草壁麻子を知っているか？
Thought he was done talking and I clicked and then he just continued talking.
ああ、はい。資料で読んだのみですが、海兵最強の狙撃兵だと認識しております。
こいつはその麻子の弟子だ。ライフルの腕も妙にちょろこいところも嫌になるほど師匠にそっくりだ。ムカつくやつだぜ。面白くもね。
I am technically a member of your squad, you know. Shouldn't you be saying good job out there and giving me a blowjob or something? Well, not that I really want you to, but if we're being perfectly honest here. In any case, having earned the overall top ranking in marksmanship, I was able to take the biggest trophy back to my squad. And surprisingly enough, it turned out that the second place runner-up also belonged to Squad 7. On the strength of that 1-2 finish, our team ended up as the overall winner for the day, giving us an even sweeter taste of the liquor known as victory. But as it turned out, all this had some unexpected repercussions. Alright, well, we'll have to figure out what those repercussions are next time because we are actually out of time. So thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry for the mistakes that I had with my reading and all that throughout this session or this episode. Just not feeling really into it, guys. I'm probably going to go lie down, take a little bit of a break, and next time I record, hopefully I'm not as shit. So thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, all that special shit, and I'll see you guys next time here with the Labyrinth of Grisaia. Take it easy, guys.